The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Dueling Comedians, where two comedians clash to see whose comedy kills and who gets killed.
Figuratively speaking, of course.
All this to determine who claims the coveted Dueling Comedians Trophy. This is Dueling Comedians.
And once again, this is Dueling Comedians, and if you're still listening to us, we got to have a serious talk. I don't know what's going on in your life that you continue, but I, for one, am happy. And here on Dueling Comedians, I'm always wanting and trying to break new comedians. Yeah, although you're not that new, are you, Dan? You're young.
I've been doing this for 20 years.
20 years.
15 years.
Well, that's still more than half as long as I have.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So,
yeah, I didn't know we'd be clashing.
Yeah. Oh, it's a duel, man.
I'm pretty fucked here.
This is Dan Boulger.
Can we swear?
Yeah, it's
cool,
the internet.
Cool. This goes straight on to Breitbart, right?
Yes, it goes right. Breitbart is the right-wing social media.
The news.
It's the news.
Yeah, the real news.
Right. So you've been at this 20 years.
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
All right. That's still pretty good. And I'll tell you this. We are here. We taped it. It's not tape. We record this at Two Guys Smoke Shop in Salem, New Hampshire. So we are allowed to smoke cigars freely if I leave it up to the guest.
Mm-hmm.
And
did any of the other ones do it?
No one did.
Rogerson did helium, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Kenny, a few weeks ago, did helium.
I'm on acid as well.
That's great.
I took acid.
This is my plan to get you smoking. Before we get into the story about you smoking.
I thought this was a baseball bat.
Yeah. No, that's a cigar is what that is.
Tastes just the same.
Let me introduce you to my sidekick, the guy that keeps everything on track here at Dueling Comedians. This is Laugh Track Larry over there.
And the judge as well?
And the judge, the only judge, the sole judge.
Cool. I'd just like to say, every vote for me, $10 will be raised to fight AIDS and gerbils.
Nice.
Yeah. The Richard Gere Fund.
That's the...
I don't like gerbils.
Not a fan?
No.
Well, then you're not using them right.
What's your... this is... Okay, you take the show. Larry?
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to control yourself this show?
I'm amped up.
All right.
You know.
I think Larry is on indica.
What is that?
It's the sleepy time weed.
Oh, okay.
I came here, I thought this was a different kind of smoke shop.
Oh, no. No, they don't. No, this is just cigars. I don't even think they have cigarettes here. No, just cigars.
No.
Right.
Only big boys.
Well, so the last time we did this, right, and we'll get into your credits and all of that because you've had some. Last time you smoked a cigar with me, we were golfing. We were doing a tournament, right?
Out near Worcester
Out
somewhere?
in Worcester, yeah.
Artie Januarios.
Myself, Artie Januario. And we'd been doing this golf tournament for years and just shit in the bed. It was just, we never did anything. And we caught wind of the fact that you were a pretty good golfer.
There was a time, yes.
And a good guy to hang with. So we go, hey, let's invite young Dan Boulger to golf with us. Mm-hmm. And the first 3 holes, you were on fire. I mean, you were really...
I was loose. I slept in my car there.
Right.
So I was feeling
good. You had a night
good.
before, right. And so then somewhere around the 3rd hole, you say, hey, let me try one of those cigars. And I go, yeah, okay. You're of age and sound mind and body.
What is appropriate cigar age?
You know...
Or legal cigar age?
60, 62.
60, 62. Remember in 8th grade, we'd all go behind the dumpster, light up a cigar.
Well, that's the old story where the dad would catch the kid smoking a cigarette, and you go, oh, you want to smoke, and they'd take him out to the woodshed when people had woodsheds. I personally do not have a woodshed.
They got burnt down by cigars.
Right. So if I ever go, Dan, I'm taking you to the woodshed. Some shit's going down because I don't have a woodshed.
And funny enough, Tony still goes behind the dumpster to smoke his cigars.
That's where I'm at my best. next to the dumpster at Giggles, smoking a cigar.
Hot trash.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there. So we around the third hole, I'm thinking it is. You say, I'm going to try one of these cigars that you guys seem to enjoy so much.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave you a cigar, and I'm going to say within a minute and a half, you found yourself a tree.
I say, hey guys, I got to go take a piss.
Take a piss, right? And you literally, and when I say this, I've never seen this before except in the Hulk. You turned green.
Yeah. You probably could tell, like, few people say, hey, I got to go take a piss, and then run as far into the woods as possible.
And then we just
this guy must have a real small penis.
Right. Then we just heard you retching. You were just heaving your guts out.
I hear Tony yell, that's a pretty heavy piss, man.
That is a pretty heavy piss you're taking there.
Asparagus.
And then you left.
And then, luckily I left and I got to miss the show.
Right.
Which there's no greater feeling than getting a free round of golf and then skipping out on the show.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, nobody has ever done well after a golf tournament.
No, golf tournaments are historic. And we're coming into golf, if we're listening to this in the summer sometime, which you will be, I think. This is heavy for golf.
And you're thinking of booking a comedian.
Yeah, dumb.
Have us.
Yeah.
But we will not do well.
We won't do well at all. Nobody, all they want to do is win trophies and eat red meat and talk about the putt
Walk
that they
the
made.
audience, win your raffle.
Right.
Hey, Dan, if you feel the need to vomit violently, you use the toilet on the desk.
I was going to look for the most expensive recording equipment possible.
I'm not going to say what's what.
You can do what you want.
As long as it's not you.
So then you've won the Boston Comedy Festival, right? You've done late night.
Yes, with Craig Ferguson.
With Craig Ferguson.
I usually don't say Craig Ferguson to make it seem like I've done it more recently.
Right. But it's late night, right? And you've done that multiple times.
Twice, yes.
Yeah. That's multiple, right?
Multiple.
Yeah, it's a multiple.
It's the lowest of multiple you can have.
Right. One is one, and then times two.
I say I've done it multiple times, and then people say how many, and I'm like, well, let's not get into semantics.
Right. Well, that's like when people ask me, like, they go, how many times? You're like, I did Conan. And I go, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. And I know it's 4. You know what I mean? It's like when somebody goes, hey, we're in the top 10 resorts in the country. Well, you're 10.
Less than or equal to 5 times.
Right. If you're saying you're in the top 10, you're 10.
Yep.
Because if you were 8, you'd go, we're in the top 8.
You might be 9.
Maybe.
Comfortably in the top 10.
Comfortably well within the top 10.
Within the margin of error.
Right. If there was a Venn diagram, say, you would fit in the middle there somewhere.
Yep.
So how did you find stand-up? Was it always something you wanted to do?
When I was 12 years old, my brother brought me to the Comedy Studio because he was friends with Pat Borelli, who now writes for The Tonight Show, to see him. So I kind of got the bug from that for a little bit. And then I got super into Mitch Hedberg.
One of the finest comedians that ever walked the planet.
Awesome comic.
Yeah, if you don't know Mitch Hedberg.
Strategic Grill Locations is his first CD.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys, Mitch Hedberg, that could get the most out of nothing. You know what I mean? His donut receipt bit is like probably one of the purest, most wonderful bits I have ever seen in my life.
You almost wonder if today he would have been screwed over by Twitter.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those kind of jokes
those
are almost obsolete
thoughts,
because some dickhead in fucking Missouri just wrote it on the toilet in the morning and thinks he's funny.
Right. And the joke that my son Gus and I always quote of his, which is the purest joke I've ever heard in my life, is when he says, I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too. That is a Mitch Hedberg. I mean, that sums up Mitch.
The one I always thought was the best tweet that was not a tweet was 7 foot is the ultimate stocking stuffer.
Yeah, he's great. So, that music means we're going to break.
This is you playing guitar right now.
Yes.
You're great.
Yeah, I could smoke a cigar and play guitar at the same time.
You thought Hendrix was good.
And still have my shoes on. And don't forget, we're vying for the coveted trophy.
Oh, cool.
When we come back. That's the dueling
we have to
part.
Duel bits?
Yeah, we're going to duel bits. You can do whatever you want. So we'll be back after this.
You're listening to Dueling Comedians.
Oh, man.
Now streaming on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. This wicked pissa show will be right back.
This is David Garofalo, and you've heard me say it over and over again for many years. Please support your local cigar retailer. And I mean it. If you don't buy from them, they will go away, and then what? There'll be no place to go. That being said, sometimes you're far away from any cigar shops or a place that doesn't carry the stuff you've been hearing about and you want to try it. That's where twoguyscigars.com comes in. It's the number twoguyscigars.com. And unlike most online cigar shops, at twoguyscigars.com, you can buy a single cigar of whatever you want. You don't have to buy boxes or even 5-packs and suffer through cigars you might not even like. One of this and one of that is acceptable, appreciated, and commonplace at twoguyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Thank you for your business.
We are back now. Did you listen to any of that break?
Oh, can we relate this cigar?
Yeah, we can do anything you want. Yeah, while I'm doing that.
I haven't puked yet, so this must be a shitty cigar.
Yeah, no, it's a good cigar. Why don't you tell people after you suck on that a little bit how you can...
Not the first time an older man has told me that.
Well, you've had a rich and rewarding life then. How can people get a hold of you if you want them to?
My phone number is 617-590-1969.
That's your actual phone number.
Text your penises to...
You ever get a dick pic?
Biggest black one gets free tickets to Nick's.
Tony.
Yes.
His number ends in 69.
That's very funny, isn't it?
Oh, I'm laughing.
It's provocative. It's very provocative.
No, we had a Me Too movement going on in here.
Yeah. So, do you have a website or anything like that?
I do. I have to renew it. It's danboulger.com. I'll try to put it back up there.
All right, great.
If not, just call me.
You're smoking that cigar like a German soldier asking people for their papers.
And what's wrong with that?
I'm not saying there's anything. I was just saying that's what it's like. Like you'd be going, where are your papers? You must have your papers.
Hey, before cell phones, what were you supposed to do? You needed papers.
I guess so. It's all there. So listen, can you remember your first time on stage?
Yes. I was at Remington's. Mm-hmm. Now the cafeteria of Emerson College.
Yeah.
I think it's better now. First time it was the Bringer open mic. I did well.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do good for like 6 months after that.
And then you won the Boston Comedy Festival.
7 months in.
7 months in. Boston Comedy. $10,000. $10,000?
$5,000.
$5,000.
I agreed to make $5,000 in exchange for winning.
Wow. That was great. Oh, I see. So you saved them $5,000.
Good move. Everybody was happy except for the guy who came in second.
You're a smart man. Yeah. He went right to the truth. That's dueling time. That means it's dueling time. You ready?
So what?
I'm gonna hit this button.
Okay.
You're gonna do a bit. When you think it's over, you're gonna hit the button.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Very good.
All right, cool. I live in a basement apartment in South Boston. It's nice to live there. There's a problem with a basement apartment. My upstairs neighbor just got a treadmill. Yeah. And I don't know about this. I don't even know if it's a joke. This might just be like a moral question. Right. Would you rather have an upstairs neighbor that uses a treadmill or one who very quietly beats her children? Because I don't know about you, like... at first, I was like, definitely the treadmill, but it's been like 6 months now, and if my next neighbor beats her kids, like, I'm going to wait till Christmas so that I can buy her mittens.
There you go. I am stuck on this thing now where I've lost a little bit of weight, and people are always touchy about that when they'll go to me. You look like you lost weight, have you? And I go, well, if it looks it, I probably have. And then they don't know how to approach it, and they'll always go, did you mean to? And I will say to him, funny you ask. It just fell off one night. I woke up and there was a huge blob of fat next to my bed. I almost stepped in it when I woke up to take a piss.
What have you said? Oh, thanks for telling me that. I had no idea, seeing as how I'm a deaf, dumb, blind vampire. So we want... did you hit that?
Are you done?
I don't know. I'm high as shit from this cigar.
I knew the cigar was going to get you. That was my ploy all along.
Yeah. I don't know. This thing makes me feel like a horny Republican.
If anybody comes on Dueling Comedians, I'm going to offer you a cigar.
Hey, Roger Ailes ain't such a bad guy after all, is he?
I'll hit the button. Which reminds me, smoking cigars is in the general public is one of the filthiest things you can do, according to people. I have no problem with it, but I'm very respectful of people, right?
Yeah.
And I will stand away from people. I'll find a quiet area. I don't blow it in people's faces.
Yeah.
If someone comes by, I will stop puffing if they have a child, especially. And I was in New York City smoking a cigar, and I found the most, lonely place I could find. And people come by and start waving like that. And
you went to Dangerfield?
And I'm in New York City. And I go, really, this is the most offensive thing to you. Right now, within 60 feet, people are getting sodomized against their will. And yet you have trouble with me smoking a cigar.
Oh, so what am I going to do, a bit?
Yeah, do a bit or joke. Or not, just hit the button and I'll do another one.
All right, cool. I've never done this outside the studio. So there's a comedy club I play in. It's got a one-sex bathroom.
Yeah.
It's boys and girls pooping together.
Yeah.
Which really goes to show, when liberals get their way, it's never quite what you hoped it would be. You know what I mean? Like I can only speak for men, but I'm sure women feel the same. Like I never want somebody from the opposite sex to know when I'm doing coke.
But that
this fucking robot laugh makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what it's meant to do. Yeah. We found the worst laugh tracks you could find in the history of laugh tracks. Right?
I'd rather bomb. Can we?
Right. Well, that is because old white guys, going off of what you just said, it's because old white guys are clinging to this, this vestige of what they were. Like men piss hair and women piss hair, and we don't want to know what goes on with other women.
You know what? It's weird. It's like supposed to make you feel good, and it like makes you feel like uncomfortable. Which reminds me, if I win $100, goes to the Gerbil AIDS Fund.
I think you mentioned that earlier. Yeah, that's good. But I don't think, is there anything less sexy than taking a shit? You know what I mean? Like, are you dropping a deuce next to someone going, man, I can't wait to meet her?
Yeah. Well, if we've
she's got a healthy diet, that one.
If we've learned one thing, you've never been to my website. Sorry.
Go ahead. Cough up a lung and do the next one.
Another one? Okay. What is the liberal thing? It's just like I'm a pretty liberal guy. I think we're both NPR-y type fellas. We've listened to Spanish. We've listened to Spanish music on a few Saturday nights.
Yes, we have on car rides.
But I think some things liberals do are kind of destructive, right? Like I don't think we should be tearing statues down. Like that happened, right?
Yeah.
Like, how about instead of tearing history down, how about instead we build it up for the sake of more accuracy? Like how about instead of taking down a statue of Robert E. Lee, how about we keep it there and put a bigger statue of Abraham Lincoln with his dick in Lee's mouth? Right? And then the Southerners would be like, oh, we can't have that. And I'll be like, listen, the general's going down or the general's coming down?
I can't get over the people in general who still cling to the Civil War, or as they call it in the South, the War of Northern Aggression, right? Like whenever I would work in the South, people would be all over me. They'd be going, Yankee bastard, burn Atlanta. And I'm going, dude, it happened 175 years ago. I'm from Italian descent. My family was nowhere near the Civil War. You know, you don't get this idea that there are a bunch of Italian guys running around the South stirring up trouble. You know, hey, get out of my eggplant, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. It wasn't burnt down in a grease fire.
I sincerely hope this ends in a tie. Dan, can I just say this? I don't know what show of this, 2030. Yeah. This is one of the most fun times I've ever had in my life.
I think we should just do our own podcast.
You're a pure joy. Larry, how are you feeling about this one?
Well, I'll tell you, I love Civil War humor.
Right up there with Civil War chess sets.
Oh, Gettysburg. Oh, funny stuff.
I could never quite make... Oh, wait, is it over?
They're going to finish.
I'm very torn.
Uh-oh. He's never liked this.
He's very funny.
One of the best.
Now, I will say the cigar caused him to degrade somewhat.
I say.
Through the middle.
Yeah.
So it's a Lifetime Achievement Award.
There was a strong finish.
Yeah.
And I want to support the gerbils. So
you're a humanitarian, Larry.
That, the guy with a non-functional website is the winner.
You won, Dan.
Holy shit.
You won. Congratulations. The coveted trophy is all yours. For the second time in dueling history, I have lost. And I can't think of a better person to lose to. Dan, when I say this, it is with all reverence, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. This was a pure joy.
Oh,
you're one of the funniest guys working today, and it was great. Listen, if you liked any of this, and I don't know why you would, please keep listening to Dueling Comedians on the Studio 21 Podcast Network. Like us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram, wherever podcasts are had. And we'll keep doing this as long as no one knows we're doing it.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.